Hi friends. I'm Sophie. Today we are going to see about the top 10 most popular ancient weapons. In their hunger for power, humans have always searched for the perfect weaponry. Empires carved out in history were often the result of strategic planning, political ingenuity, and the most sophisticated warfare of their time. The careful selection of weapons at times proved to be the crucial difference between winning a battle or being slaughtered on the field. The earth has been bled upon during times of war from one century to another, the only difference being the style and choice of the weapon wielded. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe my channel. Roman scissor. The scissor is a rather unusual weapon from ancient Rome used by the class of gladiators who were called scissors, but as gladiators they were not very well described in history. It is a weapon that weighs 45 centimeters long and 2 kilograms to 3 kilograms. The weapon has two parts, a long tube that protects the gladiator's arm, and at the end of the tube there is a long, thin cylindrical-shaped pipe with a crescent-shaped blade. It is this unique-looking element of the weapon that made it popular among fans in the audience. The scissors class of gladiators often fought with the Retiarius class, whose specialty was the net-like weapon they used. So the scissors were used to cut this net and slaughter the opponent. The tube-like structure that is attached to the arm was also used as a shield to block attacks. The shape and nature of the weapon made it versatile, lethal, and capable of blocking an opponent's blows from stabbing and slashing. Shuriken. The shuriken is a well-known Japanese weapon often described in popular culture as the ninja star. It is a weapon that weighs 13 to 22 centimeters long and 35 to 150 grams. It is used as a concealed weapon for self-defense rather than direct attack. The shuriken comes in different varieties, the Hira shuriken most recognizable in popular culture. It is a pointed weapon like a star with varying numbers of edges and styles. It is made out of sharp-edged materials such as metal or coins. The exposed parts of the body like the eyes, hands, face, etc. are more vulnerable to the shuriken. It was often used by the samurai as part of their weaponry. The effect of the shuriken was to generate an attack as if made by an invisible swordsman. Bannock. The Bannock, also known as the Bannock, which means tiger claws, is a claw-like weapon from ancient India. It is a weapon that weighs 15 centimeters long and 56 grams. The weapon was based on the claws of big cats. There are 4 to 5 curved blades which were used to slash through the skin and muscle. There are 2 holes on the side of the weapon to fit in the thumb and the pinky finger which allow the user to conceal the blades within the palm. An additional knife-like weapon was also added to the sides which could be used for stabbing and thrusting. The Bannock is often associated with the Marathi warrior Shivaji, who used the weapon to kill Afzal Khan, a Mughal general. Madu. The Madu is another weapon from ancient India. It is a weapon that weighs 60 centimeters long and 1.5 to 6 kilograms. It is also more commonly known as the maru. It is made from blackbuck horns pointing in opposite directions joined by a crossbar, which also acts as a handle. Variations include the addition of a shield for defensive purposes. In later years the weapon was made out of steel. It is believed to have originated in South India and was used mostly as a defensive weapon to ward off counterattacks. The pointed horns may be used for stabbing and thrusting in offensive attacks. High Pacifist. Unlike other arsenals and weapons on the list, the High Pacifist is not a weapon, but rather an elite infantry soldier who served in the army of Alexander the Great. High Pacifist in Greek translates as shield bearer. The High Pacifists were known for their strength, agility, and courage. A small number of them served as the king's royal guard. Veteran High Pacifist soldiers were also known as the Silver Shields or the Argyraspids. The Silver Shields were mostly elderly warriors, but were revered and feared due to their skill and experience in battle. Unlike other arsenals and weapons on the list, the Pacifist is not a weapon, but rather an elite infantry soldier who served in the army of Alexander the Great. Pacifist in Greek translates as shield bearer. The Pacifists were known for their strength, agility, and courage. A small number of them served as the king's royal guard. Veteran Pacifist soldiers were also known as the Silver Shields, as they held silver shields, or the Argyraspids. The Silver Shields were mostly elderly warriors, but were revered and feared due to their skill and experience in battle. Zihua. The ancient Chinese weapon, the Zihua, is one of the most unusual weapons in history. The character for Zihua in Chinese translates as claw or animal feet. The weapon has a long handle and a claw-like figure with sharp blades at the edge. It was used to rip away the weapons and shields of the enemy. The Zihua could be used to impale flesh and then rip it off the opponent. It has the capacity to pull a soldier from a mounted horse if used professionally. The weight of the iron Zihua is also heavy enough to kill and can be used for bludgeoning, but the sharp claws make it more dangerous and leave the opponent exposed to multiple risks. Shuttle. The shuttle is a curved sword originating in Abyssinia or present-day Ethiopia. It was used by both mounted and unmounted soldiers. The blade is semi-curved, and the curved nature of the sword was focused on delivering stabs to vital organs like the kidneys and the lungs, as it could strike over the shield of the opponent. The Abyssinians did not practice fencing and swordplay, so the shuttle was not primarily made to cut or slice. The blade is flat, double-edged and about 40 inches long. The hilt is a simple wooden piece. It is believed to have originated during medieval times and withstood Western influences during the 19th century. Kapa Sh. The Kapa Sh is a sickle sword from ancient Egypt. Swords were not common in Egypt, and daggers and short swords of different types were often used with the exception of the Kapa Sh. The Kapa Sh is a thick, crescent-shaped blade. It is around 50 to 60 centimeters long. The inside of the hook is not sharpened, but the outer part has a single cutting edge. The weapon could also be used as a hook and a bludgeoning tool. It was often made of bronze or iron. Some pharaohs have been portrayed with the Kapa Sh, and some were found in their tombs. The Kapa Sh is a sickle sword from ancient Egypt. Swords were not common in Egypt, and daggers and short swords of different types were often used with the exception of the Kapa Sh. The Kapa Sh is a thick, crescent-shaped blade. It is around 50 to 60 centimeters long. The inside of the hook is not sharpened, but the outer part has a single cutting edge. The weapon could also be used as a hook and a bludgeoning tool. It was often made of bronze or iron. Some pharaohs have been portrayed with the Kapa Sh, and some were found in their tombs. Spartan Hoechlin shield. The Spartans are often remembered for their circular shields. These are known as Hoechlins or aspis. The shields were made from wood and the outer part was covered with bronze. They weighed around 30 pounds and measured 3 feet in diameter. One of the unique features of the shield was the way it was held. The handle was at the edge of the shield, supported by a leather strap in the center. It was this technique that allowed the soldiers to freely move their arms during battle. The size of the shield also acted as a floating device. The Hoechlin shield could be used for bludgeoning and killing due to its weight and blunt nature. The shield was primarily for defensive purposes, but was used by the Spartans to gain an element of surprise. Flaming arrows. Flaming arrows were used throughout medieval times as a thermal weapon. The Romans, Assyrians, Judeans, and many others used flaming arrows. Fire arrows, with rockets attached, were invented by the Chinese during the Song dynasty. Many variations of fire arrows and flaming arrows were used by the Japanese and Koreans. The simplest flaming arrows had oil or resin-soaked cloth tied below the arrowhead, and these were very effective against wooden structures. In the fire arrow developed by the Chinese, a gunpowder-filled pouch was attached to the shaft of the arrow to provide propulsive force. It was launched from a platform through cylinders or boxes which could hold up to 1,000 of them. Propelled by the gunpowder, the arrows had a range of around 1,000 feet. If you need more information about this, we have our website link in the description. By click this link you will be able to get the required information. If you like the video, please subscribe and like, share. Okay, bye. Thank you.